Hey everyone! Firstly, I apologize if you do hear drilling outside. I live in New York. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, be sure to click right here and subscribe. I have 100,000 subscribers, and you see that little plaque up there? Yeah, that's my reward from YouTube. I'd like to hit the 500,000 milestone, so please subscribe. The springtime has sprung, and as many of you know, I'll be getting married in September. I've been wanting to bring all of you along with me inside all of the wedding planning that I've been doing, but the truth is, as a bride-to-be, when I go to these events, like when I go to try on my dress, or when I go to taste cake, which is very important, I need to make sure that I'm actually focused and not holding a camera facing it at me and making a video for YouTube. You'll notice I do have a video on my channel where I picked my wedding dress, and that was actually a recreation of me going to pick my wedding dress, which I did with no camera. I posted on my Instagram story asking if you had any questions about the wedding planning process, and I got a ton. Just wanted to let you know this video is not planned at all. I haven't even read these questions yet. Michael's not even home. Unfortunately, I would love him to be involved, but this is just a Lucie video starting right now. Do you have wedding planners, or are you doing this all on your own? Great question. We've got planners. When we first got engaged, I was so confused. How do you throw a wedding? I mean, this is a party, so yeah, you can just kind of call places and be like, hey, we're looking to book a wedding. What do we do? A lot of venues actually provide all of the things that you might need for a wedding, like the catering, the tables and chairs, maybe they even do flowers, who knows? Our initial idea was that Michael and I wanted to get married at either his house or at my house. Because of that, we knew we needed wedding planners because we didn't want to try to pull together a wedding out of thin air in a backyard without help from anyone. As it turns out, we're not doing it at a house, so we actually did choose a venue, but using planners has come in major handy because the venue we chose is actually a museum, and it's not a standard wedding venue where they already have tables and caterers. You do have to bring everything into this museum. So yes, we have wedding planners. How long does this wedding planning process typically take? I don't think there's an answer to that question because some people get married in 2 months after their engagement and other people wait 4 or 5 years. Our wedding is actually going to be 1 year and 5 months post our engagement. So we'll basically have a 1.5 year engagement before the wedding. And I personally think we're gonna use every day of that time period to plan. How do you decide who to invite since you're constantly meeting new people? Woo! I think we're gonna have somewhere in the 200 person range. Even culling down our list to 200 people was difficult. I'm a very social person. I have a lot of people that I care about a lot of people that I feel really close to. So when it came time to make the wedding list, I had to really sit down and decide, okay, this might be a person that I love, but the truth is they don't have a relationship with me and Michael as a couple, and I really need to be inviting people to this event that are there for the two of us together. Are you going to have a wedding cake, and if so, what flavors did you choose? Yes, we're having a cake, and choosing the cake and the flavor was the most important thing to me here. I know this wedding's about love, but to me, it's about cake. Just kidding, Michael, but the cake was really important to me because when I'm a guest at a wedding, the cake is really important to me, and we've got an incredible cake for our guests. It is dark chocolate red wine cake with marshmallow buttercream frosting. I am salivating just thinking of it. What is your color scheme? I don't want to give too much away, but I will tell you that all of my bridesmaids are wearing different dresses and they're all in different colors. They are all wearing the same shade and the same tone, but not the exact same color. And in terms of the color scheme of the actual venue, we're keeping it pretty simple, and I'm not gonna tell you the color. But take a guess. Are you planning on filming your wedding and posting to YouTube? Yes. We are. I'm really excited about our videography team. We hired a husband and wife duo that are amazing and take great quality footage, and I am so excited to see the final wedding video. This question is for Michael, but I think I can answer it for him. How did you design the ring? So I found a ring that I loved on Instagram. It was actually on Stephanie Gottlieb's Instagram, and I sent Michael a screenshot of that ring. I just loved it so much. It was the split shank with the circle diamond in the middle. He saved it on his phone. He doesn't really get Instagram, so he didn't know where to get that ring, so he just brought that image with him to a jeweler and had that jeweler make that ring. And now I'm really excited because I showed Stephanie that my ring was styled based on hers and based on her design, and now we're working with Stephanie to make our wedding band custom, so I'm very excited about that. How many bridesmaids are you having? I am having... I have 10 bridesmaids and 1 maid of honor, my sister Allie. So 11 people total are in my bridal party. How did you ask your bridesmaids to be your bridesmaids? So I didn't do anything crazy, but I did pull together little bags for them that said I do crew, and they had a lot of goodies in them. I gave them each this necklace, so we're all matching. So essentially what we did is we threw an engagement party, but it wasn't a party for our family. It was just a party for the bridesmaids and the groomsmen. So once everyone was there, we were in party mode. We took a little pause, I gave a little speech. I think my mom and Michael's mom came out and gave all the bridesmaids their bags, and everyone opened it at once there. And that was it. Next question, what are you most excited about? I'm really excited about the ceremony, which is the part where you actually walk down the aisle, get married, say I do, and kiss. What's the hardest part about planning a wedding? I think this answer would be different for everyone. But for me, I think it's just all the little bits and pieces that I had no idea were a thing. I think this all really came crashing down and hit me like a ton of bricks when we were sitting at the place where you pick kind of like the table settings. So you go into this place and basically there are mock tables, and they have different linen colors, they have different placemats, they have all different cups and bowls and knives and forks. Who knew there were a million types of forks on the market today? And you basically just play around, like you move different forks next to different cups and bowls, and the moment that really just got me was we were at this place looking at the placemats and the tables, and the planners came over and they said, do you like this salt and pepper shaker or this salt and pepper shaker? I was sort of like, when I envisioned planning a wedding, I did not think I would be looking at every single detail down to the salt and pepper shakers. I don't even look at that at a restaurant. And now I have to decide which one to put on my table, and it's a big deal. What are you most nervous about for your wedding day? The thing I'm most nervous about is trying to understand how, especially the ceremony, is just going to come together. I know that there's one rehearsal, so on the night of the rehearsal dinner, which is the night before the wedding, we do go with our bridesmaids and our groomsmen, and I think we even do some sort of a walkthrough. I was in shows all through high school. I was in an a cappella group in college. I know that when it comes to any sort of performance that takes place in front of an audience, you need to rehearse and you need to practice. And I know we will have a rabbi there to guide us through the ceremony and take us through every step of the way. But I am a little confused how everyone's gonna know where to go and how everything's just gonna come together. What's your theme? Theme? Do weddings have themes? How do you know what to wear for all of the events that you have? Great question, because when it comes to planning a wedding, not only do you have to pick your dress for the big day, but there's also the bridal shower and your bachelorette party, and if you have an engagement party, there's another event. And actually, I'm wearing a dress right now. This is from Parker, New York, and they have a great website where it's essentially a weddings landing page where you can find styles for all the big days leading up to a bride's wedding day. So for the bachelorette party, for the bridal shower, and the wedding day, there are styles to choose from. Every bride is gonna have her own style, so obviously not everyone's gonna wanna wear the same thing. Not every bride is gonna wanna wear white to all of these events. I personally am really loving the white theme, and I'm definitely wearing white all weekend on my bachelorette as well as to my bridal shower, and my wedding dress is white. But that's the thing, every bride is different, and there's not really many places where you can go to find outfits that are just appropriate for all of these occasions in all different styles. So I'm going to need to scour Parker, New York's website for my bachelorette party, which is coming up very soon. Which leads me to the next question, what are you doing for your bachelorette party? My twin sister, Allie, who's my maid of honor, is planning the entire thing. So I know where we're going, but I don't know anything about the weekend. I'm not gonna tell you exactly where we're going because you will see me posting about it soon, but we are going somewhere warm down south from New York. Will you be doing a first look on your wedding day? Yes. We are doing a first look. At first, Michael and I didn't want to do a first look because we wanted the first time that we saw each other to be in the ceremony when I'm walking down the aisle to him. But then we decided that we wanted to have a little bit more time before the actual ceremony when we could take photos together and when we could take photos with our bridal party so that we don't have to spend all the time during cocktail hour doing those photos. So yes, we're doing a first look. How involved were your families in the planning process? Our families have been very helpful. My mom and Michael's mom in specific are taking the lead in terms of family involvement. Good news is my mom and Michael's mom really like each other and they're really good friends, and what's even better, they have the same taste. I'm not the kind of person or the kind of bride who went into this event knowing exactly what I wanted and having rigid rules for everything. You know, part of me wanted to just walk into the wedding as a guest and be like, this looks great, thanks mom. But then the other part of me thought, I'm only gonna be a bride once in my life. I should be involved in this process. So I decided to help them out and be involved. But that said, our moms are really heavily involved and they're really helpful. Next question, is Michael helping or are you doing this all on your own? So, I know Michael's not here for this video and it looks like he's out of the process, but Michael has been a gem. And there have been certain things that he's actually taken charge of all on his own, things that I haven't even touched. As you might know, we made a save the date video, so instead of sending out paper cards, we emailed our guests and gave them a link to our wedding website where the save the date video was embedded. We had a custom wedding website builder, put it together based on our vision, and Michael handled that entire process from A to Z. There are a lot of questions here. Is it stressful? Is it stressful? I'm seeing the word stressful pop out of my phone. Truthfully, there are parts of this that are a little bit stressful. I mean, you want to make sure that it all comes together the way that you're envisioning it, and you want to make sure that everyone understands you when you're trying to describe the things you like. So I'm not gonna lie and tell you that there's no stress in this process at all. But we have been trying to enjoy the process as much as possible, and we're continually reminding ourselves that this is all just a party. It's all the people you love coming together in one beautiful space to celebrate your love, and it's all gonna be fine. How did you set a budget, and have you stuck to it so far? When I went into this process, I knew nothing about a wedding budget, so I actually Googled it, and there's a lot of diagrams that break it down nicely for you. I actually made an entire wedding planning budget spread in my bullet journal. It's the shape of a ring, and it shows you the breakdown of how much everything should cost roughly. Because everyone that's planning a wedding is going to be working with a different budget, I didn't actually assign a number to that. It was more so just the ratio of, based on your total budget, what percentage should go towards each line item. Our parents are helping us, and it's actually their gift to us as our wedding gift is helping to pay for this event. We are just so grateful to have them, and we're so grateful for their generosity. But when it comes to budgeting, we do have a spreadsheet, and our planners were really helpful in that department to kind of tell us what things should cost or what things typically cost. And yeah, we've done a pretty good job. What date is your wedding? September 21st, 2019. Do you remember? And a lot of people are asking how we actually settled on our actual date. Once we picked the venue we wanted, we asked them what dates they had available, and they gave us a list of 3 or 4. And September 21st was on that list, and that was actually right in the sweet spot for us in terms of timing. And it wasn't until after we picked September 21st that we realized that we'd picked the date from the Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Wow. Magical. What was the first thing you prioritized in getting accomplished for your wedding? Step 1 was finding our venue. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of venues that we looked at were fully booked up years in advance. So we looked at a ton of venues in New York. We went to some Tribeca rooftops. We went to the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. A lot of places were booked for summer and fall dates of 2019. And this was a year in advance. Did you ever consider having a small personal wedding instead of a big one? I don't think we considered it really heavily, but we did talk about it. When we first got engaged, my mom actually suggested, why don't we just go on a family trip with our immediate family and Michael's immediate family. We can go to the rolling hills of Tuscany. You two can get married in front of just the 5 Finks and the 4 Morrises. Then we can come back to New York and you guys can throw a big party on a rooftop for all your friends where everyone can come celebrate and dance with you. That was intriguing to me for a few reasons, namely the rolling hills of Tuscany, and secondly the fact that it would save a lot of money. But the reason that we opted out of that is because on both sides of our families, we have so many other family members that would really want to be there to celebrate with us. Do you have 2 wedding dresses? No, I actually only have 1 wedding dress, and I'm not changing dresses after the ceremony. I love my dress so much that I just need to wear it all night. The one thing I think I am gonna change in between ceremony and party is my hair. I'm not sure what style I'm gonna go with at the ceremony versus at the party, but I do want to make them a little bit different. Do you hire one band for the night or multiple? We hired one band for the night. I think it's like a 5 or 6 person band. Various band members sing, so I think they put different voices on for different songs, and this particular band that we got is supposedly really good at covering songs and really sounding like the artist that they're mimicking. And I'm really excited for them. I've heard some great things about this band, so I will report back post-wedding. Show us your save the date video. I did show you this video already. It's on my Instagram TV. My Instagram is at Lucie Fink. Where did you register and how's that process going? We're registered at 3 places, Zola, Bloomingdale's, and Williams-Sonoma. The registry has been very exciting so far because I get an email every time something's been purchased. All of the stuff is currently being sent to Michael's parents, and that's because Michael and I are likely going to move before the wedding, staying in Manhattan but going to a new apartment, and because of that we didn't want to get all of the items here where we can't really fit it and then have to take it meet with us when we move, but we keep getting pictures from his mom of all the boxes that are piling up. We are really excited. Pretty soon we're gonna go do a Registry gift opening party so that we can kind of jot down who got us what gifts and we can know who we need to write thank you notes to. What can you tell us about your dress? What can I tell you? Well, it's white. It's not that poofy. It has a lot of personality. All right, I think I've answered more than enough questions for now. If there's anything else you want to know, comment below and I'll try to respond. Overall, I just want to say that this process has been a process. There's a lot to do when it comes time to plan a wedding. But if you're a bride out there, or if you're a future bride to be, or if you're a future groom to be, just try to remember the way Michael and I are trying to remember every day, that you're just planning for one big celebration. And the day of, as I've heard, is just gonna go by in the blink of an eye. It's all gonna be a blur. So on the day of, I'm gonna be constantly reminding myself to stay present and to look around and to feel the love in the room. September 21st, 2019, for Lucie Fink and Michael Morris is a joining of spirits, if you will. And we're finally becoming a family with one another. And our two families are becoming one family, and it's amazing. So even if there are bumps in the road in the planning process, just try to remember, it's just a party, it's just for fun, and it's just for love. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Be sure to subscribe right here, give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.